Hello, welcome to the channel and thanks for joining me. A very quick unboxing today. May or may not make the channel, but I've just had this in as a special delivery and I think I know what it is. And if that's the case, I just wanted to share it with you on the channel because it'll be a nice one for us to look at. Assuming, of course, it is what I think it is. So here we go then. Very excited if it is, by the way. And I think it is. As a collector of boomboxes, Walkmans, vintage tech, what have you. Nice. Come on. Finally got myself a Sony TPS-L2. Beautiful. And this one's really not in bad condition at all, to be honest. So I'm sure you'll all know about these. Just beautiful, from 1979, 1980. The first, I guess, official personal cassette player. It was really designed for use out on the streets and out and about, as it were. And yep, made by Sony. Obviously, you know, the inventor of the Walkman per se, but you know, not Walkman by name at this stage. Not until the revision of this, which came a little bit later, which bared the Walkman brand. And yeah, okay, well, I bought this one on, I wouldn't say a whim, far from it. I'd seen one for sale with the case and it was relatively fairly priced for what it was, and I just wasn't sure if I could justify it, and I ummed and ahed about it, decided not to, and sure enough, within a couple of days it had sold. And I was kind of kicking myself proverbially for that, really. I'd kind of regretted not picking it up while I had the chance. And also, as part of my justification for not buying it, incidentally, the prices seem to have settled a little bit, or at least there were a few more around the sensibly priced bracket available at the time. And I thought, well, I can always go and pick one up later at some point if I ever are in a better position and what have you. Anyway, sure enough, as soon as the other one sold, the prices just seemed to have skyrocketed again, and fairly slim pickings, if I'm honest with you. So again, I thought, well, now's the chance, really. I think this is the time to get one, just like the Prince Sound SM8 or the Weltron 2001 Spaceball 8-track player that I did recently. It was a case of now or never, really. So I had the opportunity to get this one. I made the guy an offer, and we came to a fairly sensible deal on it. And it's got no case, no headphones, no accoutrement whatsoever. It literally is just the player. I don't think it works, but I don't think they ever do. But at the end of the day, that's what we do on the channel, is get this stuff working anyway. And all you can kind of do is kind of cross your fingers, have a look generally over it from the photos and go, well, it sounds like an honest description. It doesn't look like it's been messed about with. It's not photographed next to random little, you know, zip tie bags with screws and stuff in that somebody's tried to do something with it in the past. It seemed fairly honest, and so I thought, well, okay, I'm going to go for it. And I took the plunge and I've got one, and here it is. And I've got to say, it's beautiful. It's actually a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I've never even seen one in the flesh before, let alone held one. So this really is just a little moment to savour, really, guys. Yeah, nice. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Wow. Okay, so you're thinking this is like 1979 or thereabouts. We've got, well, there's a cassette in there, so I don't even know. There we go. Right, comparatively tiny, really, and comparatively slim, you know, for its size. I think there's a bunch of tantalum capacitors in there, so a little bit smaller than perhaps the electrolytics. Yeah, a couple of ICs. No, I'm not even sure if there are ICs in there. There must be. I'm not even that familiar with the unit yet, so we're going to have some fun with this when we finally get around to servicing it. But anyway, I just wanted to sort of share this. It's fairly weighty. Got a beautiful blue anodized surface to it, and I think from my point of view, that was what I was kind of more interested in, really, is having one that's got an honest, you know, honest case to it. Now, it looks like it's been kept in a case most of its time, I've got to say, because it's got a beautiful sheen to it, but there was no case with it, so I'll have to pick up a case at some point. And a bit like you get with the Sanyo M444s and stuff. In fact, I've got one of those. that I'm working on right now, so I can show you. What you get, I don't know if you'll even see it in this light, is you just get this tiny little bit of wear, or almost, I don't know, reaction if you like, with the case. Just the friction where it's held in the case over time, over the years, even when it's been stored. I mean, look at the condition of that, it's lovely. But if you look in the right light, you'll just see the witness marks from the case. And it's a bit like that with this, really. Yes, it's slightly more obvious, but where it's just rubbed on the case, I mean, some of that might even wipe out with a gentle clean anyway. But I'm not going to bother respraying it or anything like that, because it's in beautiful condition on the back, and generally all over it's in nice condition anyway. Plus, if you spray it, you'll never get the right match, and you will lose all the lettering, which you don't want to do if you can help it. Wow, gosh, this is nice. Very simple, really. You've got your 2 sets of headphones, hotline there, I think, so you can talk to your friend through the headphones via the little microphone on the side. Battery operation light. You've got your play, stop, that works, rewind, fast forward, and independent volume controls, and it all works off of just 3 volts DC, of course. So what do we do with this back cover? Open goes that way. Okay, and I think there should be a little spring on there for the back door. Not sure. I think it should pop open, and there's a little spring under there somewhere. But anyway, battery contacts look really clean. Nice. So does it work though? That's the next question. Well, I'm just going to put a couple of batteries in real quick. Give it a quick test at least, because you never know. Fairly expensive prop otherwise. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to press play. There's a battery light on the top. It's hard for you to see that. Let me turn one of the lights off. There we go. I can see that light on. In fact, if I stop it, you'll see it go off. Just about, maybe. Ah, there we go. Nice. Good. Right, so from there then, play. Yep, play's going. Rewind. And fast forward. Now, when I bought this, it was described as not working. There's a fairly hefty tape in there. Nice old vintage tape. Let's get this light back on. Sorry, I'm just wittering away here to myself, so hopefully you're still with me. I've forgotten I was recording there, just sort of talking to myself really. So yeah, so the chap said it wasn't working, but I noticed when I let it run on rewind and fast forward for a minute, got some torque behind it from the battery power, got it running. It looks like it might actually be spinning up now, so I'm just going to plug some little speakers here into the headphone socket, see if anything actually does come out of this. Play. Ah, ah, what do you know? What do you know? It's literally just given up the ghost. So if I stop it and eject, play. Yeah, I can hear the motor. Yeah, see, it's still working. But that belt's had it. That's a shame. I thought we might have got lucky there. So basically, with the tape in, there isn't enough torque to pull the reels. But without it, you can. Well, play stopped now, but fast forward and rewind, which are on a secondary belt underneath, I think. That's just about working. Good stuff. Wow. Okay. So I think all I'll do with this in due course. Like I say, I've only literally just got this, and I wanted to share my experience with you of opening this for the first time. I just think it's awesome. It's actually really nicer than I expected. It's in nicer condition than I thought. I knew what this anodised aluminium would be like in many respects. I actually come from an architectural ironmongery and glazing industry, and I'm very familiar with sort of the feel and style of anodised products and aluminium extrusions and that sort of thing. But to have it here in the flesh, it's got a beautiful weight to it. Not too heavy, but reassuringly solid. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be. As I say, compared to, say, you know, an M series Sanyo. Let me just zoom out a minute. There's an M series Sanyo, which is absolutely like a brick in comparison. So Yeah, so actually it's smaller than I thought, lighter than I thought, and this particular example is in nicer condition than I thought as well, so it's a bit of a winner. So anyway, listen, sorry I'm wittering on, guys. I love you all to bits. Thank you ever so much for, you know, for sticking with me while I have my little ramblings and what have you. But I just wanted to kind of be honest about it, because I don't tend to do, in fact I've never done a scripted video. You know, I'm not one for multi-camera shots and fancy, you know, traps, music, b-roll and all that kind of stuff generally. I'm a small channel. I do all the repairs myself, all the servicing, all my sales and marketing and everything else that goes with running a business of second-hand electronic items. So editing alone just takes ages, and if you've got like 3 or 4 cameras going, once I get the channel a bit bigger, if we can all sort of grow the channel and I start getting some income from it, then perhaps, you know, we'll be able to get some assistance with that and multi-camera angles and stuff like that. But for now, you get a little old me wittering away, sharing his thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it. Can't wait to actually get working on this. I've got a few other things I need to get through first, and I don't want to rush into this. I want to savour it, so I want to be a bit gentle with it, do a little bit of research, get some belts, and we'll get this little beauty up and running. Well, there she is then, the TPS-L2 from Sony. Can't believe I just said that, but thanks ever so much for watching. I'll be back soon, but in the meantime, you guys stay safe. Thanks again for now. Bye bye.